By the way, if you ever die of a heart attack, make sure your wife throws all the pre-workout away so we don't get sued. And you've got a lot of shit in there, bro.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. Nobody believes me. I don't drink energy drinks. I don't care for coffee. And when it does come time for pre-workout, I take them when I need them. But there's times I try to go without taking anything. So when I take them, the motherfuckers still hit like meth. Because I notice if I just take too much shit all the time, nothing works the same.
No, true. It does not.
Eddie, do you generally do one pre-workout a day?
No. Even when a review comes and someone sends me something, I'll take 4 to 5 days off from everything. I'll just Yep, and then I'll get the headaches for the first 2 days. Then by the third day, I can't function, like I'm tired all the time, and then by the fourth day I'm back to normal. And then I'm like, all right, I'm good. You know, yeah, it sucks, but there's no way. I don't care what anybody says. All these guys, if anybody's listening or watching, I'm not trying to be mean, but there's no way you're going to give an honest review on a pre-workout when you're doing one every day, a review every day on these hardcore pre-workouts. There's no fucking way. And it's like I tell people all the time, because people fucking be messaging me, you told me this shit. I never told you shit. I just gave you my feedback. And people take it like I said to you, hey, Bob, personally, go out and buy this shit. No, I said, everybody's different. What works for me might not work for you. But people are fucking nuts these days, man. They'll be messaging me and shit. You said this shit was the bomb. Yeah, for me? Everybody's body type is different,
And I think that's when people forget. They see a review and somebody leaves a bad one and they think the product's shit. And people misunderstand that, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is what works for you does not work for everybody else. And vice versa.
And wait, you just reminded me. Boom, you just hit it on the nose. Has this happened to any of you? The original Res Black, which had the DMA in it, which was the first one when, Landon, it's Intel Nutra now, whatever. I got sick. I threw up. I hated it. I was like, I'll never take that shit again. Kid told me try it again. I said, man, I'm taking the chance. From there on, never had a problem. Always worked. So I don't know if you guys get that sense where you take something one day and you're like, oh, this shit sucks. Then all of a sudden you try it again. You're like, wait, why is it working now? So I don't know why shit like that happens either. Depending on what you ate, did you sleep? There's so many factors.
Yeah, I mean, everything from just the food you eat can completely change the way something feels. So I'll never one and done it. I'll try anything at least 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah. But you have to make sure that everything you're doing prior to is the same, So,
So Eddie, when you do a review, how many times have you taken that product before you and your homeboys drop a review?
No, you'll see it. I'm cracking it open right on video, brand new. That's the first time. I don't do like the other supplement guys who are like, well, I use this all week. I just come in and just clean up my, stay clean for the whole week. And the guys that are doing the reviews with me are just normal average guys that just don't even take pre-workout. They just help me out with the video. So their receptors are super fresh. So if we don't feel nothing, then something's wrong. And you just got some average guys who don't take pre-workout every day. So that's why I like putting other people in the videos to get more feedback. So it's not just me.
Yeah.
So, because I don't want everybody to just keep thinking it's always me, because most supplement review channels will be the same people over and over again. So I just tried mixing it up a bit. So that way if it was up to me, if I didn't have a wife, forget about it. There'd be like 10 girls with little shorts and tank tops in my videos helping me with the reviews, not some fucking dudes.
But Eddie, not to be a dick, but doesn't that kind of contradict what you're saying with the Arez, that the first time you took it, it was shit. So let's say you leave a review based on what you felt, but the second time you felt better. So when you want to do it a couple of times?
That is true. But I've now got a system where now I know what works for me before I do it. Back then I didn't know. It was just that whole whatever. And then all of a sudden, forget about it. I started talking about Intel that I got sick, but it worked and it was amazing. And then boom, people went fucking nuts. I got 2 brand new containers still sitting in my house of the OG Arez, the black formula. I've been offered $300 for each one. And I won't sell them. They just sit in there. They're collector's series. I just stare at them. Because, that was one of the ones that was pretty good back then. But you're right, yeah. But now, like I said, I'll do the 4-day cleaning and then go back and then I'll test something. And originally right there on the spot, I could tell. And what I do is I make sure I don't take them on an empty stomach. I'll eat throughout the whole day before I get to the gym. An hour before I get to the gym, I'll take a pre-workout meal. So that way I don't, no sickness in case, God forbid, anything like chemics. So basically...
Theophylline.
Hey man, it's in green tea. Come on, man.
It's a green tea extract. Fuck out of here with your bullshit excuses.
Speaking of Nick, I actually have your $85 Chemix hat coming to your house tomorrow.
Oh yeah. By the way, people, you know, well, we're talking about Chemix because one time I made a comment about
shots fired. Shots fired.
Here we go.
They made a comeback video of saying how, yes, it's a prescription drug. However, if you put it under a certain dose, then it's legal. Fuck you. You're a chemist, okay? Let me explain how this works. If you have a green tea and it has an extract, a byproduct, caffeine, theobromine, theophylline at little tiny doses, it's legal. It's a byproduct of an ingredient. When you pull the fucking extract out and you put it in there on its own, it is fucking illegal when the only way to get it is from a prescription, from a pharmacist. So you can't sit here and say, oh, well, it's a byproduct of green tea, so it's legal. Fuck you. It's not legal. On its own, it is not legal. As a byproduct at a tiny little dose, it's legal.
Yeah, I've never seen on a label, I've never seen green tea extract standardized for percent theophylline. I've never seen that before.
It's a prescription drug. Everybody, go to Google, type in theophylline. Let me know what pulls up. I guarantee you it's an R with an X next to it. It's a prescription fucking drug. That's why you puke when you take it. It's not rocket science. You know, no matter which way you try to fucking word things.
All right, so how do we get the amphetamines back?
Put it on the label. You know, when Craze, when they got popped, I think they got popped with like 7.2% or something like that of amphetamines, and then Gaspari, they held the record.
Yummy.
They got tested at like 23% methamphetamines.
Oh, no wonder.
23%. Bro, you're talking pure fucking just drugs.
That's
a quarter of your scoop is pure drugs.
Is that Super Pump or what was that?
Super
Pump. Where can we get that?
It's the Gaspari pre-workout from 2012-ish, 2011.
Okay.
23% methamphetamines, bro. That shit was fucking.
Yeah, you walked into the gym at 180 after a full scoop. You walked out at 200, man. You were fucking.
That shit was nice.
It's like, yo, what the fuck is in this shit? You don't even look like the same person when you were leaving the gym.
You know, people thought Craze had a lot of kick to it. Nah, bro. When you coming out at 23% methamphetamines.
Well, there was also something in Super Pump 250, and it wasn't just that. It was something for the blood for expansion. Yeah, and I think that was prescription also.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, and it's like, all right. So like the SARMs, you know, when they tested them, there was a company that paid and tested like 50 different companies, and pretty much all of them failed except for one company, I think. But you know, we're talking, you know, Anadrol, D-ball. Of course, these SARMs work when they're loaded with fucking steroids. You know, you go to 7-Eleven and you get a little King Dick pill from the gas station. I guarantee you, if you test it, it's got Viagra or Cialis in it. So, you know, they all do. It's just that's the way they make shit work. You know, but you can't put prescription drugs on labels and then sell it and expect it. It blows my mind. You know, but some people, listen. If it's the only way you know how to make a product, then I'm sorry you went to chemistry school and got a degree in it. Sorry. You know.
Well, here's a twist of events. I got a question for you guys. What do you guys think is next on the FDA list? What do you think they're going to put on their ingredient advisory panel?
Isopropyl norepinephrine.
Citrulline.
You wouldn't be able to make a pre-workout without citrulline.
That fucking Canadian research is making its way down here, man.
Kiss your ass goodbye to New Pep.
Oh yeah, New Pep is definitely. See, that's what pisses me off. It's like, all right, so like Australia, they're a bunch of fucktards that work whatever health advisory they have. They're fucking idiots. Listen, they go by WADA, and Canada is pretty close behind where they go by WADA, which is WADA is designed for athletes. It's designed for athletes, plain and simple. Now, if, for instance, if you play in the NFL and you drink let's say you play in the NFL and you drink this in the middle of the summer and they drug test you, you'll fail because caffeine is a performance-enhancing drug according to the NFL, which is fine.
NCAA,
yeah, these are athletes. So what they have to go by, that's fine. But don't ruin everybody else's adventure because 99% of the fucking world is not an Olympic athlete, is not a professional athlete, and not a college athlete. So why you got to take away all our goodies because that 1% can't play with this? I'm sorry, but citrulline is not a performance-enhancing fucking drug. It's so stupid. Like, where do you people come up with this shit? And the government, especially because we got this dickwad that works at fucking Harvard that likes to go, oh, well, this is bad. Hygenamine is bad for you, and Hortonine is bad for you, and it's dangerous. So, potentially dangerous. So the FDA has to put out these warning letters. Now, they've done DMAA. They did a fucking test on DMAA. FDA did a test on DMAA. 225 milligrams of DMAA at one time is the limit of the safety protocol for their standards. So if you put out and did a test of 225 milligrams as a safety dose, why is 25 milligrams illegal? It blows my mind. You have safety doses for everything. When they do Tylenol, so you run through 20 years of tests to get a Tylenol, and let's say it's 1,000 milligrams. The actual plethora of safety net is 100 times whatever the dose you're allowed to take per day. If you can have drugs and prescription drugs that are unsafe as fuck, and you have safety nets in there, why can't we have safety nets for all the little shit that really isn't going to kill you? Sorry. It makes no sense. But it's the government, so.
Yep.
So is there any originality nowadays, especially when you look at pre-workouts? I open up my Instagram and there's every screwball coming out with a new pre-workout, and it's all beta-alanine and citrulline and beetroot and caffeine. Is there any originality anymore?
Well, no, I mean, it really can't be.
$99 product.
Oh, yeah, fuck you, Vince Del Monte, and your $99 fucking pre-workout.
No, Vince, you gotta throw Vince under the bus. I didn't say anything. I just said $99.
You have the biggest set of balls to charge people $99 fucking for your shit.
But you know what? But I agree with Justin what he said earlier. Hey, if people willing to pay for it, fuck it. If I can sell my shit for $99, I'll sell it all day long.
Right?
That is
good profit margins, man.
That is
hell yeah. It costs you $5 to make and you sold it for $99.
Yep.
Don't worry, if you buy 6, you can have them for $49 a tub.
We'll need one more person. One more person. We're in it.
All of us will get on auto ship.
Unbelievable. The fucking audacity of some people in this industry. It's absurd. $100 fucking for an average pre-workout.
Is it 20 or 30, sir?
25. 25.
Yo, that one is 15. He's changing
Is that Canadian conversion? Is that Canadian currency? Or is that us?
I'm not sure. I think that guy is Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah.
Of course.
$99 for a pre-workout. That bitch better wash my fucking balls when I'm done at the gym for $99. Holy shit.
When I want to get a good when I want to get a good pre-workout, I have to order from the States. It's $45, it's $55. I have to convert that over to Canadian currency. I have to pay $20 to get it shipped up here. CBSA gets their hands on it. Half the time they say, oh, this Amped AF with the American flag on it. No, you can't have that. We're going to take that, ship it back. And then if they do decide to let it come through, they charge you another $15, $20 customs fees. It's like, come on, man. I'm paying $90 for a tub of fucking pre-workout? So you guys actually have it pretty good down there, right? Unless I want to go up here and buy Mutant or Mammoth pre-workout. You know what I mean?
You can meet me in the back alley at 8 o'clock tonight. I got some shit for you.
I will.
$99.
I will slide my mailing address in all your guys' DM zone in case any of those products are close to expiry.
Mark, why don't you just go straight to the source like Muscle Tech or Magnum Nutraceuticals?
I can't. They're not strong enough. Nothing strong enough up here.
Dude, but Muscle Tech's #1.
Yeah. Mark's like, shit, one tub is 3 servings for my ass.
42 scoops at once.
It comes with the shovel.
It's brutal though. You order 2 tubs of pre-workout and then you watch your tracking and you say, "Oh, please let this get in so I don't fucking throw another $100 into the wind." All right, well, I can leave here, hop in the truck, I can go to the liquor store, I can grab fucking 60 ounces of whiskey. I can scoot over to the store, grab a carton of cigarettes and fucking smoke them all day long. Then I can go across the block to the weed shop because I'm up here in Canada and you can buy fucking weed on the corner. And I can go get a big bag of grass and I can just get fucked up for days, weeks, months. Nobody gives a shit, but I can't have a fucking pre-workout because it has ligenamine in it. Come on, man.
No 5 grams of citrulline.
Well, Mark, here's the trick. I'll let you know. I'll give you a little tip. If you're going to order from a supplement company, be careful who you order from, because when it comes to customs, the first thing they look at is the name of the company. So if it says like Labs, Pharma, fucking any of those names, that's why Intel Nutra changed. It used to be Intel. Oh, was it Intel? What was the older name? Intel.
Nutraceuticals?
Pharma.
Intel Pharma. Yeah. So when they see Pharma, that's why you see sometimes customs give a lot of problems. So that's why I think Landon changed the company to Nutra. So it just passes through customs a little bit easier. Anything that makes it suspicious, automatically just going to grab it with the Labs, Pharma, anything on it like that.
Labs with a Z? It's definitely not
Z.
Hey, you know that dumbass, what the fuck is his name? Fuck, I'm having a brain fart. The owner of Insane Labs. You know that he actually tried to sue companies for having a Z at the end of Labs?
Come on.
Yeah, that takes some balls.
He's just trying to trademark a letter in the alphabet. I don't know. You can't trademark a letter in the alphabet in a word. But he tried to sue companies for having Z.
The sad thing is, though, is he sells so much products, he actually has money to spend on lawyers to try and sue someone for using the letter Z.
Well, yeah, when you pay
who the fuck buys that shit?
Fuck, man. You have a huge profit margin when it costs you under $3 to make it. So
people buying that product just shows you how many weird fucking people there are in the world. I like clowns and fucking horns on my pre-workout. Red rum, fucking insane veins, and trash.
That it is. We got the greatest flavors in the world. No, you flavors are shit.
I've never tried them. The first time I saw one of the labels, I was like, why would I buy that? Like, why would anyone?
You're not missing anything.
Eddie, what did you have the other day? Leatherface or leather fucked up, or what was that you had the other day?
Oh yeah, wait. Well, I'll ask Justin this. Okay, let's see. We'll play a game here. All right. Let's say, for instance, this is Leatherface, right? And you saw it's a basic profile: 500 milligrams caffeine, fucking 45 milligrams DMA, and then you pull up another product, same identical fucking profile. Why does Leatherface work like crack, but the other companies doesn't? Same thing. Really, what's going on over here?
Right,
because Leatherface, believe it or not, is made by Aggressive Labs, and I thought as a joke, yeah, underground garbage, it ain't gonna work. But everybody I gave it to also the same thing. So it works in under 5 minutes, and you're just like scared for your life. You're just like, literally, man, you're scared for your life, man. I was tweaking, I was sweating, and I was just like coming out of rehab, fucking scared for my life, because you think, 500 milligrams caffeine and 45 milligrams DMA, you're like nothing. So Aggressive Labs, if you're watching, no, there's something else in that bitch.
Yeah, I think actually I've asked, because I had the same kind of question. I think Nick knows this really well, because I think I talked to Nick about this same thing where I was like, and I think that's when I started to learn about the manufacturing process in the supplement industry. I think Nick is a good person to ask this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind closed doors that nobody ever gets to see or should see. Or should have to deal with, for that matter. But this industry is full of some very good people, and it's full of some very fucking shady people. For instance, there was a fat burner that came out years ago from IT Formulations, which is metabolic nutrition down here, and they're like, "Oh man, this fucking Synedrex, this shit works like fucking crazy. I'm burning fat like nothing." Well, then somebody went out and tested it, and it had Lasix in it. Oh, you remember that prescription drug thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it had Lasix in it. So of course it's gonna fucking work really well. But the only problem is that when you go and you put something like Lasix, which is a prescription drug, in a pill that people are going to take way too often, now you're dealing with destroying people's fucking livers.
See, now here's my question, right? See, I get shit about this all the time, right? I get shit about this all the time, like from certain people within the industry, and I think some of them they work for companies, say, that have really strict, say, I don't know, I'll use NutriBio for example. Like the FDA comes by there all the time. So I don't think that some of these people really think that happens, right? So it's like, okay, they always tell me, no, the FDA has all these policies. I was like, okay, I get that. So how does that happen? Like, and these guys, I'm like, they get all offended when I'm like, there's no like regulation, right? Because that's not entirely true, but like there's certain laws in place that, in 1994 they put in certain things, and it's like, so where's that? I mean, those loopholes if we're supposed to have everything tested, if everything's supposed to be there, how the fuck do we still end up with that at the end of the day? It blows my mind.
Well, here's the thing. You have NutriBio. They are an FDA registered, certified, and tested facility. So the FDA comes in.
Unannounced, no less. A lot of times it's unannounced.
Right.
Oh, it's never announced. They don't tell you when they're coming. And their audit can last 2 weeks up to like 6-8 weeks.
Yeah, Mark said it was like a month, right? Last time, like
they're
they
long.
just had one. They had one for like a month.
Yeah, they'll do spot checks. Like they'll come in and randomly do spot checks. Like a buddy of mine one day, I was talking to him, his manufacturing company. He was like, "Gotta call you back." FDA just decided to come knock on our fucking door. So sometimes they'll just come in and do a spot check just to make sure you don't have certain ingredients. In this case, they were looking for DMHA inside of the warehouse. And then you have their actual, to be a GMP certified facility, that's that 2, 4, 6, 8 week audit that the FDA comes in and does, and they rip your shit to fucking hell. I mean, your compliance books, your SOPs or standard operating procedures, you have a book like this big, and there's about 50 of them. Now, there's a small handful of companies that actually go through this certification, and then you have the FDA registered facilities. There's a big difference between an FDA registered facility and an FDA GMP certified facility. And then you have the guys that just manufacture shit in the back of their warehouse. There's one company, we won't mention their name, but they're out of Florida, middle of the state, and they manufactured their pre-workouts in the back of a fucking warehouse. And they became very popular due to certain ingredients. But yeah, that's I mean.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy.
There are very large differences between a NutriBio manufacturing facility and a smaller company that's not using a actual certified company to manufacture their products. Big difference on the manufacturing processes and levels. And that's, it's a problem you run into is like when you're dealing with a GMP certified manufacturing facility, your manufacturing costs are more. It's the way it is. So in our industry, we have to deal with margins with retailers. Retailers, they have these very unrealistic fucking margins sometimes. And you'll make a product that's like, say, Immortal, which costs 5 times to 6 times what it costs to make C4, but they want it for the same price so they can get the same margin. It's not going to happen. And then when you take a very expensive product to make, and then you turn around and you look at the certified facility, their price, and then you look at the registered facility, you have their price, which is much lower. And then you have the facility, which you don't know what the hell it is, which is much lower than that. So, that's when you run into issues. One of the largest.
So Eddie, it's like, I know what you mean, because you get 2 exact same labels and you're like, no, this is not the same product at all. Like, I know what this is supposed to feel like.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what it is too. Because there's a lot of people hating right now, prop blend this or that. And I'm like, listen, bitches, let me tell you something. Just because there's a transparent label does not mean that it's fucking 100% transparent. That could be a fucking prop blend for all we know in that transparent label bottle.
Amen, brother.
They don't get it.
Fucking men.
They don't get it. And it's like, oh my God. Who wants to answer this? How many products in GNC or even in Vitamin Shop had transparent labels and some companies got in trouble because there was not in there what was on the label?
I mean, look at BPI. It's one of the largest companies in the world. and this company does like $150 million a year in sales.
Yeah.
And their amino acids don't even test out. Their amino acids.
Right.
Duck feathers.
The amino acids
Right.
do not test out to the proper dose. Aminos. It's not a
the cheapest thing you can get.
There's nothing they make that's expensive. So they're very cheap, 3-ingredient, low-dose amino acid product. Didn't even meet label claims. So you run into situations like that where, even though this is one of the most trusted companies in the supplement industry, and it's one of the largest companies in the supplement industry, and they're transparent, they still fail label claims. So whether it's transparent or prop blend leads to a lot of shady issues that, as a manufacturer, I can do that you don't know about.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not a big fan of them, even though I drink the fuck out of these things. But at least I know I'm prop blending myself with stupid chemicals instead of stimulants. But, but when it comes to transparent or prop blend, even the transparent labels out there, that you'd be surprised how many of them will fail label claims.
Bingo.
And it's going to be more than you think. And, like there's companies out there, one of my buddies, his company, they forewarn their manufacturer. After you make this, we will test it.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, we will test this.
Here's the thing. Why wouldn't you do that? Like, we have this conversation all the time. It's like, okay, and I run into this with companies. I was like, who's the boss here? Like, you're paying a manufacturer to make your product, right? It's like, why wouldn't you go and test it and want to know that you're getting what you're paying for? You know what I mean? Granted, just from a business perspective, it's like, wait, I paid you to manufacture this formula. So yeah. I want to know if you gave me what I paid you for. Like that, I don't know. I just get that question. I'm like, I don't get it. It's just because it's expensive.
But Justin, who picks up that cost though? You, the person that's buying it, or should it include cost in the manufacturer so that they can give you a certificate of analysis or whatever it is?
Say that again.
So I understand what you're saying because one of your podcasts addressed that. But who should pick up that cost? In other words, should you, the person that wants it manufactured, the company, say, listen, I'm going to take your product and I'm going to have it tested, or is it up to the manufacturer to supply you with a certificate of authenticity or analysis, whatever it is? Who pays for that?
That's a good question. I mean, nobody's going to want to pay for it, right?
Yes.
So I think, if it's me, it's got to be the company, right? Like if the company... It's got to be part of the deal. I think it just seems to me like too many times too, like supplement companies, they just sign a deal with a manufacturer because they want to make a product so bad. They maybe necessarily don't think about certain things like that, which I get. But it's like the cost is going to come in there eventually. So who should pay for it? I don't know. Ultimately, the consumer is going to pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it goes. But too bad. That's the way America works. You know what I mean? Like that's capitalism. So.
Yeah, because I know Prady said on one of your podcasts that I think he paid $19,000 for a teacrine.
That's just one ingredient.
Yeah, one ingredient. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's. Go ahead.
What was it? When it comes to ingredients, you go through most legit manufacturers. They'll have the HPLC testing machines there, so they can run it through and they can test it right there. But at the same time, they're only designed. They don't have every ingredient in there. All these new ingredients, theophylline, dynamine, all this new shit that comes out, you can't test for.
Yep.
Can't test for. So if you want to test for that, now you have to go buy it in surplus, send it to the company that makes the machine, and they have to figure out how to put it in their system, which is not cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like necessarily you have to go. Prady's different. He's a different kind of guy. Like he's very thorough with everything he does. I'm not saying you necessarily have to go that route, but it's like just as we see just what they do in fucking amino acids, like Nick mentioned. It's like, I mean, if I'm paying a manufacturer to make me an amino acid product, it's like I would really want to know that I'm getting my money's worth.
Yeah, and you always want the company itself is going to cover this bill because you don't want the bottle to be tested that the manufacturer gives you.
Right, exactly.
You want all your bottles shipped to you, all your bottles sent out to your retailers, to your distributors. Then you want to order a bottle from somebody, a random bottle from somebody, and you have that sent directly to the third-party tester, like ABC Labs. So, if you have it sent to you from the manufacturer that way, they're manufacturers. They can...
Right. Well, and like we all know, like, I mean, and Mark, you know this too, like working in the industries like we've been in, like, so if you said, okay, I'm going to have, we want a bottle from the manufacturer. I mean, they are going to do, it gets like when the bosses come through and the bigwigs, dude, you'll never make a better product in your life, right? Than yes. When all the eyes aren't. So if that manufacturer, like we've had companies who are like, well, here's our certificate from our manufacturer. I was like, honestly, I wish I could just trust that, but there's no way, because that doesn't matter. Like they could sit there and put all their effort into making sure that one sample is perfect, and then just go right back to whatever it is they do as soon as they're done.
Yeah, because you got to remember, when you come out with a new product, the manufacturer, like I reformulated Immortal 8 times. They literally just take the ingredients, put it in a blender, mix it up. So if you're having a bottle tested and you tell them, they're going to make a bottle that's exactly what it's supposed to be.
Right, for sure.
Which is why you want to order it from somebody in fucking Wisconsin or something like that, where you have no idea which. So this way they have to make sure that everything is done correctly, because, and like my friend, he tells them, if this fails, you're fucked and you're paying for this entire run. And these are not like $5,000 runs. These are like $1 million runs per product.
Yeah.
So, the manufacturer's not going to fuck up because he knows he's getting stuck with that bill because it's part of their contract, that if it don't match, you're paying for everything.
Well, I feel like, too, there's like some kind of compromise between, okay, testing, spending $20,000 to test every single ingredient, and then some asshole making it in their garage and selling it. Like, I figure if we talk about this enough, like, there's some sort of middle ground, I think, like, we can come to here where it makes sense for, because the consumer, ultimately, at the end of the day, you spend all that money, then the consumer is it's going to be $100 for, well, there already is $100 pre-workouts, apparently.
$9.
There'll be $200 pre-workouts, and nobody's going to buy that, right? So I figure you're going to have to do it in some way.
What the hell's that?
He loves you. He loves you.
Who's that? Yeah, nah, that's probably one of my fucking subscribers told him to write that shit.
Because it's a Nick and Justin show at the moment, while Mark and Eddie just sit back and relax.
Just waiting on my popcorn.
When I go to Canada, we'll just sit on the couch while you guys talk about like drinking beers. Oh man.
So one last one as we wind down. I know, Mark, you asked earlier what you think is on the list for banned. What do you guys think about CBD oil or CBD products? Do you think that's eventually going to get banned at all?
Yep, definitely.
No,
I agree. I think
up here.
That's a big market for your nice pharmaceutical companies to turn that shit around into something. Maybe not now, but maybe in the near future. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because it's just like some people love that kratom, and who knows, it's like, but again, you got bad batches and you got good batches. Some companies, some people are getting sick from it. Some people love it. CBD, some is real, some isn't. So
exactly.
I mean, what do you guys think about the CBD going?
Well, I think like same thing where the FDA only gets involved, right, if something bad happens, right? And the CBD thing is such a shit show right now, right? So everyone's making CBD products, like none of it tests out that it's proper. If shit starts to go wrong, then that's when the FDA gets involved. So it's like, I don't know. I think the CBD thing, like people always ask me, they're like, well, have you tried it? Like, which ones do you like? I'm like, I'm not trying any of it because I don't fucking believe any of it's CBD until I'm proven otherwise.
Like the kratom.
I don't even know what's going on up here in Canada with CBD. I don't have the time to follow it. I wish I did, but our feminist PM, Justin Trudeau, he just legalized weed, so you can, like everywhere, every town, every city has a weed store now. You can just go in, you can buy that shit pre-rolled, you can buy your bongs, you can buy your different kinds of strands, you can buy it online. So ain't nobody fucking around with no CBD oil up here. They're just buying the THC gummies and, buying the real deal.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know down here, like I get my CBD from there's 5 state growers, and for the state of Florida, and I get mine directly from one of them. So I know it's real, but you know, there's I've looked into it for other things, and there's certain manufacturers wholesalers of CBD, and they actually send it out. It's third-party tested. Everything's good to go. But there's a small handful of those people. A lot of these people, I have a friend of mine where they created a CBD line, and they bought a house in Virginia with a bunch of land, and they have their CBD that they started growing from their weed and shit, but none of it's tested. So how do you know what it is? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, CBD is not, from a manufacturer's perspective, if you buy it from the right people, the right growers, it's not this overly crazy expensive product. You know, it's just the amount that you have to buy to get in with the real people versus the minimal buy-ins with we don't know what they are people. You know, but the problem you run into is now, like, CBD pre-workout, CBD protein, CBD. Listen, we have enough problems with the FDA and pre-workouts. Don't start throwing fucking CBD. It's legal in 50 states.
Right.
But if you don't know what the fuck you're putting in there.
Why would you want CBD in a fucking pre-workout anyway? I don't get that at all.
I don't know. Just use
up here, man. I smell a lot of guys walking into the gym locker room, and they fucking smell like that ooh-wee, like they stinking ooh-wee. I don't know, man.
It's for focus, because they do it here in Massachusetts. They smell like terrible, but they say it builds focus.
Oh, we got guys.
I focused on the TV the last time I used it. Yeah. Fucking Ben and Jerry's ice cream like that. No, yeah.
Go to bed. He's eating his ice cream with his fork.
Yeah. Only way to eat it.
Your girls are spooning it to you. Daddy!
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, guys, listen, as time winds down, you know, it's definitely been good catching up with everybody. Justin, what's next for you guys? And let everybody know where they can download the app and stuff.
Yeah, man, we got a lot of cool stuff coming. I know everyone says that, right? Everyone's like, oh, we got some cool shit, but I can't say just yet, but we got some cool plans. Basically, the idea is, right, so we charge a subscription price for the app, right? You find the app, download the app. It's available for iTunes. It's available for Android. The idea is you scan a product, right? You search for a product. It'll tell you no bullshit about all the ingredients that are inside of it, right? I sifted through all the crap that you find online and all the sponsored posts. My man Nick's got it right there, right? So we attach our private group to the subscription price. Basically, the idea is from now on, all we want to do is just keep adding just a fuck ton of value for your subscription price. That way, eventually, it's just free, or you can even make money off of it, because that's the idea, man. We don't want to shut anybody out. At the same time, we got to make money because we don't take money from advertisements and companies. Like, I just don't play that game at all. So we have a subscription. I mean, that's the way it goes. But what we want to do is from here on out, just keep adding things to the mix. And we got some really cool shit coming in the next like month or two that people are going to be like, you guys are fucking crazy. Like, I love it. So.
And by the way, people, yes, I do pay for this.
Right.
I do pay for it. It's not free. I do pay.
Not free, right? No.
You know.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate your support, brother.
Always, always. And if you sign up, if you get this right here, see, he's got it too.
And Mark.
Oh,
Eddie, where's yours at, man?
You motherfuckers making me nervous. Made me feel bad now.
I feel bad.
Oh, look. I got it too. When I hit the screen, Justin's face pops up. Justin, what's up?
But we get we go online and for the private group, a lot of people come on, whether they're starting companies or have questions about this or about that. For $19.99 a month, trust me when I tell you, any of like me, Court, Tim, Justin, Brady, all the people that are in there, and then some. You can't pay us $19.99 a month and ask us to tell you stuff. It's not gonna.
No shit.
But if you go in the Facebook group, we will answer any fucking question you have.
Yeah.
So
I mean, really, it could be you could charge $1,000 a month for that subscription. All the knowledge that's in there. I mean, think about that dude that asked that question to you the other day. If he would have asked that question before he released his line, dude, he would be. Think about how much money that guy would have saved if he would have come to that group sooner. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing, man. I love it.
You know, it's we have no problem. Like I love seeing. And speaking of that, the guy actually still hits me up. But we love helping people out. You know, we want everybody to succeed unless you're a fucking douchebag. You know, but we want everybody to succeed, and you know, it's tools and resources. Trust me, we were all stupid at one point, and didn't know.
And some still are.
Yeah, I'm still a dumbass, and you know, according to my girlfriend, now I'm just a dumb homosexual with you guys. So. You know,
I mean, it's not a bad life to live, man. It's a pretty good group.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, what's the problem here? She's
pretty good group, man.
And if she's lucky, I'll bring her to Chick-fil-A later. And you know, but yeah, the app itself, yeah, we love. You know, you're not gonna be able to ask any of us questions for $19.99.
Right, that's a serious consulting fee for sure.
You know, and we give it to you for free. As long as you're subscribed to his app, we will tell you anything you want to know for free.
Yeah, and that's as much as like we bitch about, like I talk about the industry and certain things, like that's another thing too, is like I don't think people realize, like the people that are within that group, the relationships we have, like this is like, I mean, Mark, it's like been years I talk to Mark. Nick, we talk all the time, a long time. It's not like these other reviewers and these other guys and their bullshit platforms. They're like, oh, you have a check? We're fucking friends now. Now you go and spread your bullshit around. Like this is like, we've gone through a lot of shit together, talk to each other, and we're like, we have the same kind of values. So we provide that for other people. It's fucking beautiful thing, man. Fuck those other guys. Fuck the other guys and their bullshit.
Fuck them.
And he's over here like,
no, because you know what it is.
Groupies, man.
You know what it is. I'm not a rat. I'll sit at some of these supplement round tables where I sit with people and they're talking, and I'm just like this, and I don't want no problems, no drama, so I don't say shit. You know, I'll tell you, and I'll tell you this. I'm not going to mention any names, but I've had companies hit me up and say, please do not review our products. Yeah. I know they're probably watching right now. They wish they could thumbs down this fucking podcast.
That's awesome. God.
Dude, that's a good thing, right? And I've had companies, they'll say to me, they're like, yeah, I had a formulator the other day. He goes, every time I'm like putting an ingredient in my formula, he goes, I think about like, what would you say? That's pretty fucking cool, I think. You know what I mean? It's that we just want better products for people to help them. Like, and if we can do it all together, man, I mean, what's better than that?
Hell yeah.
And Mark, plug yourself, your website.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I got a low battery light flashing, so it's gonna die any minute.
We all have low battery.
I'll start out by saying, Sean, love the podcast.
You need to take some of this shit so you don't have a low battery.
Oh yeah. I'm actually cycling off this month, but. Justin, fucking love the app, man. Shout out to Brady. You know Brady's my boy. Nick, love your line. Love the fucking pre. Eddie, love your channel, man. Cracks me up every time. I still feel bad though that V1 gave you the cold sweats, but that's old news.
Oh man,
that's that Alpha Yo. For Iron Brothers, I got 3 products. NPNs are filed up here in Canada, so I have 3 products dropping in probably 210, 220 days up here. And we're working on a new pre-workout formula and a pump formula, and take it from there. Sky's the limit.
Oh, yeah. Did y'all just notice that?
Where's that?
Justin got some love on that one.
I gotta ask, Mark, what does your wife think about us? Because I know, you gotta see. I know you guys don't see this part one, but he's messaging me. He's like, "You mind? Shut up! Show some respect. I'm talking to Eddie from Muscle Player."
She's like, "Who the fuck is Eddie?" I'm like, come on, man. Come on. No, she's great. Jacqueline's great. You guys see her in the video.
She's very understanding.
Yeah, for sure. To say the least.
To deal with any of us, you have to.
Amen to that. Give a shout out to our wives and girlfriends.
Can have a lot of fucking patience to deal with us.
Sean, that's an idea. Get all the ladies.
Bring it on.
Oh my God.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. No.
Wow. Okay, that would be the last. That would be a good finale.
No way. We don't filming in the basement, and I think my wife's like listening and shit. Sometimes, like whatever, and then she'll open the door. Are you all right? I'm like, bitch, I told you I was recording. Don't open the door.
Meatloaf.
Like, how the hell am I not all right? It's like, what the hell you think I'm making?
Oh my God. Ma, meatloaf.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't come in the basement when I'm vacuuming.
Oh, is that what they call it nowadays, vacuuming?
Yeah.
Eddie, so what's your channel name? Where can people look at your crazy whacked up videos?
Oh, it's real simple. Just if anybody wants to check me out, just go on YouTube. Just type in the search bar, Muscle Players, either one word or with space. Muscle Players, and you can't miss my ugly mug posing to the side on every fucking thumbnail.
You'll notice his videos.
Is that PLAYAZ?
Oh no, that's illegal. I don't want to get sued.
Use a Z, man.
I'll take the Z out.
Sean, one recommendation, maybe to start off this podcast, hit him with the intro from Muscle Players. Hey?
Hey now.
Oh yeah.
Hey now.
Gotta come up with something.
Illegal. They're illegal in Canada, my intros.
And Nick, last but not least, when your product is in-house and ready to purchase, where can people go get it?
It's a damn good product, though.
Are you filing for an NPN also? 120 to 240 days?
No, I got to deal with manufacturers who have employees that steal from me, and all kinds of other bullshit. So, yeah, don't ever drop ship. Just be careful who you ever drop ship with. But if all goes well, by the end of summer 2019, that's what year we're in, we will have either 7 or 8 products, of which
grass-fed whey protein. Grass-fed whey protein.
No, I don't do the whole grass-fed. We can do a whole another podcast on grass-fed whey protein, and but yeah, it's hopefully by the end of this summer, we are back and running with a slew of products, and one of them you guys have never seen before, and that right there, Immortal. It'll actually be, I'm going to reformulate it a smidge, but it will be better every time I do it, except it's not going to be, I'm not going to put the alpha yolk. Well, I might put it back in, but a very small dose.
I'm just not going to put it on the label.
We just want to put it on the label. Why am I sweating? So hopefully by the end of this summer, we'll have everything, all the bullshit alleviated. And you can go to www.ragenutrition.co. There is no M at the end of that because some dude in India wants $20,000 for the M. So it's ragenutrition.co. And on Instagram at Rage Nutrition. And if you want to look at this ugly ass mug, it's Rage CEO.
And at the end of this video, there'll be 2 GoFundMe pages. One is for Mark's witness protection, and the other one will be a GoFundMe so Nick can buy the M.
Yes, I need my fucking M. $20,000 for the letter M. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I'll say this too, and I think maybe like Eddie and Sean, maybe you can agree with me on this one. All I really care about is company owners that get involved with the people they sell products to, right? You want to be able to go to these guys and hear from them. I don't want to see all pre-workouts look the same. It's fucking boring, right? Yeah. But when I can talk to a company owner about a product that's going in my body for whatever purpose, you can't beat guys like Mark and Nick who, at a drop of a hat, they will get back to you about everything. They're honest. They don't bullshit around with you. They don't pretend like I have the greatest pre-workout for every single person on the planet. They'll talk you through every step of the process. And that's all. Like that's where we should be at with everyone. And not everyone is like that. So that's why I always will go to these guys. You can reach out to them anytime, and they'll talk to you about fucking anything about the products you want to know. So that's
I ain't
the
sending
shit.
No fucking dick pics. Only Justin gets those.
Right. I mean, you gotta have some limits, but anything you want to know, man, and that's all I really care about. I'm tired of that shit. Fuck those guys that don't want to talk about their products because they're doing shady shit or just don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, you're spending money on my products? I don't have to tell you anything when you ask me a question. Fuck that. Those days are over.
Yeah, we are very, very open, very transparent, and frankly, I just don't really give a fuck whose feelings I hurt when I talk, so it's okay. Because I'm bigger than them, so it works out good.
I think at the end of the day, we all share the same thing. We're passionate, we're open, we're honest, and we love what we do, and I appreciate you guys a lot.
And we're handsome. We're handsome.
Well, speak for yourself.
You guys. This
also, I want to be, before we go,
Please.
I'm proud to be involved with a group of sick fucks like you. Cheers.
Amen to that.
Bitches.
Guys, be well. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Hey guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Be well.
Woo. Later,
Yeah.
boys. I'll see you in the back
Talk to
room.
you in 5 minutes, guys.
32